This is another episode of Standup Comedy, your host and MC, celebrating 40-plus years on the fringe of show business. Stories, interviews, and comedy sets from the famous and not so famous. Here's your host and MC, Scott Edwards.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the podcast. We have another fun, great show of stand-up comedy, a nice variety of entertainment that I know you'll enjoy. We have some high-energy stuff, some low-energy stuff, but always good for a laugh. Coming up later on the show, one of my personal favorites, he's still working today, very talented comic out of Seattle, although he is a native Hawaiian. His name's Kermet Apio. You've heard him before on the podcast, very funny, and we have some a short comedy bit from him and a little bonus show I think you'll like. Also, from our Laughs in the Park concert back in the early 80s, we have two sets by local comics, Chris Hobbs and Bentoni. A little more energy, very fun, and being an outdoor event, you have that live feel of the show. So to kick things off on this great podcast of stand-up comedy, another very talented guy. He's out of Los Angeles, but you're going to hear a little Southern twang out of his material. He's originally out of Texas. He has a slower delivery of his comedy, but really, really funny. Jack Mayberry, a guy that you've seen a lot on TV, very, very funny, and still working today as well. So, if you like stand-up comedy, we got four great acts for you. Let's jump into it. Ladies and gentlemen, originally out of Texas, a very funny stand-up comic. Let's hear it for Jack Mayberry.
Pilot error is a major cause of airline accidents. That's what I hate. I could deal with a mechanical defect or a weather problem, but I want the last thing I ever see to be a pilot looking at me going, I screwed up, man. I don't know what the hell's going on. When I woke up, all the lights were on. They say the pilots get bored nowadays. They say it's so automated in the cockpit that an airline pilot's job is considered to be hours and hours of tedious boredom broken only by moments of sheer terror. I think if they're bored, they ought to do something to help them rekindle their interest up there. Why don't they have them try to see how many out-of-state planes they can spot or something like that? Why don't you let me up there? I'm not bored. I'm real interested in what's happening up there. Maybe you ought to put one paranoid passenger from every flight up in that cockpit is what you ought to do. I'd be up there making hot coffee and conversation. You know, what's that flashing? What's that little knob do? What's this thing right here? How's the movie? What's the meal like? Let's sing a song. I'm not bored. I'm sitting back here terrified, with my seat in the full upright position. Not only am I going to die, I'm going to be uncomfortable when it happens. And they're up there asleep with drool running out of their mouth. Because they're bored. And they say they make these dumb mistakes, like on two of them, they forgot to put the flaps down before takeoff, and they didn't take off. They just got going 180 miles an hour and crashed at the end of the runway. And they did it twice, and now I check that stuff, you know? I get on a plane now, I go seat, full upright position, tray table return, flaps down, check, we're ready back here, pal. I'm doing everything I can to get this bird in the air. You're taking off without my flap down, hot shot. I got this wing covered. Because they crashed two of them without the flaps down, and in the paper they said on both of them, just before the crash, on the voice cockpit recorder, they heard a mysterious thumping noise, and they can't figure out what it is. I think it has something to do with the flaps. I think it's probably because there was somebody like me on that plane who knew those flaps weren't down, beating on that cockpit door, going on that runway, going... You gotta check that little door for dents is what they ought to do. Too much information in the paper. Like I read one day, at 36,000 feet, they said you're 6 miles in the air. I never thought about it like that. They said, you know, if something happened to your plane at that altitude, you'd have to fall for 6 minutes before you even hit the ground. I didn't need to know that. I don't know what I'm going to do for 6 minutes. I can't scream that long. I'm a smoker, for God's sake. I got 6 minutes. The guy next to me better get hysterical because I'm going to slap the crap out of him on the way to the ground. I don't care if he's panicking or not. We're both going to die, and I'm going to need something to do for about 6 minutes. I figure just the fight between me and him will keep us occupied. His family will probably just think it happened in a wreck. They'll never know. Can't just sit there. I think if they had 6 minutes and the plane was going to go down, I mean, it was just going down. There's nothing they could do. The pilot and the co-pilot were going, folks, we tried everything and nothing worked. And they had 6 minutes left. I think they'll let everybody on that plane have one shot at flying the airplane on the way down. What the hell could it hurt? It's not like we're busy or anything back here. Somebody could accidentally just level that baby right out again. I want my 20 seconds in that cockpit. I'll pull every knob and button in that thing. I have my arm out the window doing like that. I might not save us, but I'll have the lights on and the movie going when we do hit. And it'll be free headsets all the way around. You might turn on the 6 o'clock news someday and see a 747 come in with just one wing and my arm out the window. And I'll be smoking with this hand right here. Because the wind would blow it out here. It's funny. You ever stick your arm out the window like this? I used to love to do this. My mom hated this too. My mom used to say, don't hang your arms out the car window, they'll get caught in the wheel and it'll rip them off. I used to sit in that back seat thinking, my arms are this long. What do you think you raised, an orangutan back here? Think I'm gonna reach out and unscrew the lug nuts on this guy? I'm a small child, my arms are only this long. Yeah, but one day when she wasn't looking, we were going real fast, and I saw she wasn't looking, and I stuck my arm out the window real quick and did like that. Flipped the car. So you should listen to your mom. Actually, you should listen to my mom. Actually, I'm surprised you couldn't hear my mom. My mom was one of those loud moms. She thought that volume was directly related to comprehension. She thought the louder she got, the more you understood her. So she'd end up right in front of me saying things like, do you hear me? And I'd be standing there thinking, yes, I'm 1.5 feet away from you. Hell, Helen Keller would have known what you said from the vibration distance. I won't be able to hear anything for a couple of minutes, but I got that loud and clear. I don't see how you can keep that up. Wow, does she do that all the time? That's amazing. You must think you're really funny. Are you a mom? Yeah. Moms are great. Moms are your first contact with comedy, I think. Because my mom used to say stuff and I think, you've got to be kidding. My mom used to say things like, are you hungry? I'd say, yeah. She'd say, you want something to eat? I don't know the answer to these questions. My head hurts. I'm going to go lay down now. Moms are always asking those questions like, you deaf, you blind, you crazy, very concerned parents, moms. Never asked them about smell. That's the only one she wasn't interested in. Never once did I hear, can't you smell? I could at least say, I can't hear worth a damn, but I can smell pretty good. Who are we looking for? Are you crazy was a good one. Are you crazy? I used to think, I don't know. I could be, huh? It's either you or me is what you're saying. My money's on you. I think I drove my mom crazy when I was a kid. And I think she's returning the favor now. Best question I used to get every day was, just who do you think you are? Because I'd be standing there thinking, Who do you think I am? I got a room right down the hall, remember? Notice the facial similarities. The similar characteristics in speech patterning. You ain't giving me these ears and walking off. I'll tell you that right now, pal. You did this to me. I cut off my hair the other day. All my friends went, "What happened to your ears?" I said, "They exploded. It's the damnedest thing." I was eating Rice Krispies. I closed my mouth. They popped. They've been like this ever since. I don't know what the hell I'm going to do. Switch to Raisin Bran, I guess. I was looking at my dad. My dad has these ears. My granddad has them too. Earlooms, I'm referring to them as now. I got the family earlooms. I think this is what you get from being raised downwind in Lubbock, actually, is what I think this is. I was looking at my dad. My dad has larger ears than I. My granddad had the super deluxe king size version. He could fly. Because he was old. Old people have huge ears. You know, it's true. Going on old folks' home sometimes look like really old people. They got huge ears on them, man. Half of them can't hear a damn thing you're saying to them, but they got huge ears on them. And your nose and your ears will grow, they said, as you get old. You get to be really, really old, you're just going to be a big old nose and a set of ears over in a chair, just sucking up air, going, "Ha! Ha! What?" I think God makes disgusting things happen to you when you get old. And then he kills you.
Oh, man, he's a funny guy. He has been doing his type of kind of Southern low-key humor for many years. He's been very successful. And if you ever get the chance to see him live, Jack Mayberry is one of the best in the business. Hey, let's up the energy a little bit. Taken from a concert I did back in the mid-'80s. It was a live concert outdoors in a William Land Park here in Sacramento. We had about 12,000 people. This was the largest event I actually ever produced. And two of the local comics that were part of the show were Chris Hobbs and Bentoni. Now, there's a little bit of an introduction on this, so I won't give you too much. But these guys were young, just getting started, and very funny. I know you'll enjoy them. Let's jump into some stand-up comedy from Laughs in the Park. Chris Hobbs and Bentoni.
Please, a nice big round of applause. Our first entertainer this afternoon, one of the house MCs of Laughs Unlimited in Old Sacramento, a local favorite. A big round of applause, Mr. Chris Hobbs. Right here, Chris Hobbs.
All right, Sacramento, how you feeling? You look like a good group. You do. But I noticed there's a lot of studs that I look around, you see them, the guys with their shirts off. I see you guys. I mean, it looks good and everything. It's just, I can't do it myself. It's not that I'm fat. It's just that I've got like this really skinny body and then like the belly, you know? And I try to cover it up. You may have seen me earlier. I was a guy wearing like a Speedo and a cummerbund. Yeah. I don't know, you look like a good crowd. Anyone from downtown? I'm from the downtown area. Anyone from downtown around here? I have to admit it's kind of scary because there's a lot of gangs and stuff, and I have to tell you, I'm afraid of gangs. I am. I'm afraid of the Crips gang, and I'm afraid of the Bloods gang. You know, but then again, I'm even afraid of the Roseville gang, so... No, I've always been afraid of stuff my entire life. I can remember being 16 years old, trying to get into an R-rated movie, and my heart would just be pumping like this, you know? And I turned 20, and I was trying to buy a beer, and I was just really freaking out. I mean, what's gonna happen when I'm only 59? I'm trying to get that senior citizen special at Denny's, you know? A lot of people say the reason I'm like this is because of the fact that, well, I was kind of raised in an overprotective environment. Well, I was raised by old people. Not like a whole village of old people, just like two. And it was really boring, especially when my grandma's friends would come over. Because every time my grandma's friends come over, it's like the same conversation every time. You know, it's like, "My Chris, how you've grown. Boy, you're handsome. I tell you, if I was 30 years younger." They're always so honest and sincere. I feel like I have to be honest and sincere back. It's kind of like, "Gee, Mabel, you sure have shriveled up. But you're still really pretty, I tell you. If I was about 100 years older, Well, my grandma's a sweetheart. She really is. In fact, last week was her birthday. I saved all the money I've made in comedy so far, and I got her a blue velour shirt, you know. She was so excited though. She walked around the house all day going, dark blue, light blue, dark blue. I got so excited I ran up to her hair and went, dark blue, light blue, dark blue. My grandma is a sweetheart. She's originally from Germany, and then she traveled. She's originally German, then she came over to America. So it's kind of an interesting story. But if you know any older German people, I noticed some older people. Is there any older German people here? Don't be afraid. No, the thing about older German people, they all have the strong German attitude. They think they know everything. My grandma, 70-year-old German lady, she even thinks she knows about baseball. She knows nothing about baseball. I could hear her last weekend. We'll listen to the baseball game in the other room. All I hear is, home run! And 10 seconds later, home run! It's like, Grandpa, you better go in there and explain instant replay again. Anyway, do you guys like music? I brought a guitar. Would you like to hear a song? Scott Edwards, he handed me my guitar. I think that's a beautiful thing. How about a big round of applause for Mr. Scott Edwards? Just get it out of your system right now. All those John Denver comparisons, just get it out of your system right now. This is a little song I wrote, and I hope you enjoy it. I wanted to write a song that was meaningful, something that meant a lot to me, and hopefully to you. It's a song I wrote, and I call it the Carl's Jr. song. When I was 13, hung out at the skating rink, I asked my mommy, what will I be? She told me, you're gonna be a Carl's Jr. burger flipper, polyester brown shoes, I'll even make a bet you're gonna wear a hairnet, always be a loser. So don't start acting like you can do anything. You can do anything when you can't even get a job at Burger King. Thanks a lot. I've been Chris. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chris Hobbs. From right here in Sacramento, let's hear it. Very well done. We have some cheerleaders up front. All right. Well, we're just getting warmed up. I think it's a good time to mention to everybody in the audience. By the way, by applause, how many people here in the crowd, this is your first time seeing a comedy show? By applause. Okay, by applause, how many people have never seen comedy before? Not, okay, pretty much the same people. I think that's important. We want to mention that comedy is basically a form of free speech, and that generally speaking, and especially at Laughs Unlimited, the shows are meant for an adult-only audience. You must be 18 and over even to go to Laughs Unlimited. The entertainers have adjusted their material for this afternoon, but we would like to mention that if you find anything offensive, call the city. With that in mind, we're going to bring up our next entertainer. You guys ready for more? Beautiful crowd, beautiful. Best crowd in the park today. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the stage, the official House Master of Ceremonies at our Citrus Heights Laughs Unlimited location, a local comedian and very, very funny. Please, a nice big round of applause, Bentoni, right here.
Thank you very much, and boy, welcome to the park. What a crowd! You guys look great. This is woo. This is big. Do I look all right? I got a haircut for this. Is this all right? Oh, thank you. The people in the back are applauding like they can actually see it. But I went to Supercuts. This is why I'm wondering, which is very frightening. Of course, you know, all know that their motto is, you know, if you don't look good, big freaking deal. You know, they don't care as long as they get their $6. They get their money. You walk home looking like Morton Downey Jr. They don't care. The skinheads are after Morton Downey. It seems like they're after all the talk show hosts, doesn't it? Who was it? Geraldo months ago. You guys, did you see this? Nobody? Geraldo Rivera, I guess. It's going to make his mother happy to know that everyone loves when he gets his face broken. That's nice. Well, evidently there were some neo-Nazis in his audience that just had enough of his stuff and picked up a chair and smacked him in the face. And now, if I was Geraldo, I would feel kind of bad to know that even other jackasses hate my guts, wouldn't you? I mean, these guys don't like you. They haven't picked on Oprah yet. They haven't picked on Oprah. I guess I should stand clear of Oprah. And she lost a lot of weight. She looks good, doesn't she? Sure. It's commendable. She lost. Of course, I think she's wasting her time, actually, because people are going to always remember Oprah as that fat lady that lost all the weight. Don't you think? Because I remember back when she was really big about a year ago. Did you see it when Ann Landers was on? Ann Landers was on her show talking about the pencil test. Any ladies know what this is? This is Ann Landers' practical test for ladies to determine whether or not they need to wear a bra. Let me explain it. If you don't know what this is the way Ann Landers describes it is you take a pencil, if you're a woman, you stand naked, you put a pencil underneath your breast, let go of it, and if it hits the floor, I'm talking about the pencil now. You guys are getting ahead of me. If the pencil hits the floor, Ann says you don't need to wear any kind of support, but if it stays up there, apparently you need something there. And I'm watching this something, and here's Ann Landers describing the pencil test to a woman who couldn't pass the typewriter test. She's a big woman, you know, able to hold an IBM Selectric under each boob. That's a little large, I think. She's working on it, though. That's nice. Now, how about this guy, Walter Hudson, been in the news. This real fat guy, 1,200 pounds. I'm sure you've heard of this guy. He dropped down to a good svelte 800 now. I'm sure he looks terrific. Yeah. And at 1,200 pounds, he wasn't even the world's record holder. Now, I don't know if you know this, but the world's record fattest man ever, according to Guinness, is 1,490 pounds. Yeah. Hard to imagine. And this is what's hard for me to imagine, is the fact that the guy before him, the previous record, was only 1,069. So there's like 400 pounds difference between the two records, and I'm thinking, where were the scientists when this guy weighed 1,070? When he finally broke the record, you'd think someone 1,000 pounds, people would be following around, you know, trying to give him a couple dozen pizzas and donuts to get him over the line, but no. They waited till he's 3/4 of a ton to, boom, put him in the book there. It's like, I suppose maybe his weight fluctuates like the rest of ours, I don't know. What do you weigh, pal? 950, 1,500, right in there, you know. I mean, you put this into perspective. Here's a guy, if he lost 400 pounds, he'd still have to lose another 500 pounds just to weigh 600 pounds. This could get you in some kind of a book anyway. How many people, let me find this out, how many people, just applaud if you're at least 30 years old. Just clap if you're at least 30. All right. Now applaud if you think being 30 is old. All right, folks, I think we can take them. I think, I've been asking everybody this because I got a birthday next week. A week from today, I'm going to be 33. I don't think it's old. I think 30 is quite young. I still feel I'm still holding my own, which, yeah, of course, I'd like someone else to hold it for me for a while, sure, yeah. I don't know if you people in the back can see from where you're standing, but I'm holding my own right now as I'm talking to you. This is the most fun I've had all afternoon, so, don't worry, I'll be done in just a second. So, you get 33, that's what happens. All right. Yeah, let me tell you what made me feel old. I was at a party not too long ago. I met this very, very young girl, and I didn't think we'd have anything in common, but she said she was a big fan of the Beatles, and of course I'm a big fan of the Beatles too, but she said she liked them because she thought one of them looked exactly like Julian Lennon. So I had to explain that to her. She thought I was old because I could remember when John Lennon was still alive and still making records. You know, I can remember when Paul McCartney was dead and still making records. You guys remember that? Yes, the people over 30 do. Now, last year for my birthday, my friends took me out to Benihana's for dinner. This is a nice place, a fancy restaurant where they prepare the food right there at your place. Very spectacular. They're flinging knives around in front of you and everything. And this is fine if you've been there before and are prepared for it, but I wasn't. So it scared me to death when I noticed the guy's name tag said trainee. You know, this is what you want to see when you're trying to eat. Now, you think of gourmet food, I think first of escargot. Now, applaud if you've ever eaten escargot. Oh my God. Maybe you didn't realize it was snails when you ordered it, but that's what it is, folks. And I'd be terrified to order it, you know, because First of all, I'd be afraid of what might happen if I would decide to put salt on my food. Wouldn't that be scary? Oh, yeah. Nothing like seeing your entree become soup, huh? Oh, man. Anyway, very scary. So we got George Bush is our president. You guys happy with this? George Bush, Dan Quayle? No? Suddenly it's a political rally. Now, this is true. This is true. During the convention, there was a quote in the paper by George Bush. He said, if Dan Quayle and I ever get to the White House, we're going to get hold of the American public like a couple of pit bulls. And there was a picture of these two wimpy guys standing there, you know, pit bull's a vicious animal. These two guys look like a couple of Mormons that just lost their bikes. You know what I'm saying? Just not very threatening, anyway. Now, they've been in office for about 6 months, haven't done anything. That feels more like they've gotten hold of us like a couple of horny poodles, doesn't it? Which poodles aren't even dogs anyway. They're just cats in drags, in my theory. Anyway, I'm going to leave you with this real quickly here. Now, what was the basketball game? The Pistons won today. You guys happy about that? This is the thing that got me, is because I didn't get to watch it on TV, but I heard some of the highlights on the radio, and there's a clue for you. If you ever get a chance to listen to basketball on the radio, pass this up. This is 48 minutes, nothing but 10 pairs of size 15 sneakers pounding on a hardwood floor. It'll drive you insane. How long can you listen to this? Like I said, I was in my car. I thought my front tire was about to pop loose, or the fan belt was going to blow or something. Very, very scary. So I got a rotten car. I got a 1962 Rambler American I'm trying to named Rambo. It's got 15 different colors of paint showing through it, so it has that camouflage look as it goes down the road. The front bumper's twisted in the front, looks a lot like Stallone. And every morning when I go to start it, it sounds exactly like Rambo. I just turn the key and... That's it, I gotta get that fixed, I guess. You guys do this when you hear a new funny noise in the engine, you don't know what it is, do you fix it by turning up the radio a little bit louder? Does that help you out any? Anyway, you guys have been terrific, and you've got a fabulous show ahead of you. Thank you for coming out here tonight, and keep supporting comedy. My name's Bentoni.
That was Chris Hobbs and Bentoni performing at a live outdoor concert I produced in the mid-'80s called Laughs in the Park. It was a huge success. Always a lot of fun working with so many different comics. I think we had 12 on stage that day, but these two were early on in the show and definitely brought the energy up. All right, let's get to our closing comic. I alluded to him earlier. He's originally out of Hawaii. He now lives in Seattle, Washington, very active on the national circuit. He does cruises, large shows, opens for some big name acts in Las Vegas. Very, very funny guy, Kermet Apio. And on this part of the show today, we have a short comedy bit by Kermit, and then I'm going to follow that with a little bonus promo piece he did for 911, the emergency call number. I think you'll enjoy it. Hey, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Kermet Apio.
I got pulled over recently, and I didn't know why, and that's freaky. And the guy told me he pulled me over because I fit a description. Yeah, it's not so much that I committed a crime, but going by at 60 miles an hour, I kind of look like someone who did. So I said, hey, if you catch that guy, yeah, tell him to watch his cholesterol. He's let himself go. Really? This is what went out in the APB? This is what they're looking for? How did that come over the radio? We got a suspect, balding, double chin, looks really tired. He's driving a Taurus wagon with car seats, very dangerous. Spam-sniffing dogs are on the way. He's considered unarmed and lethargic. Don't chase, just wait. Offer pie. I was driving one time, I saw a State Patrol minivan. And I was thinking, you know what would suck? Getting pulled over by a minivan. That would hit you hard, wouldn't it? You're driving along. Oh, no way. You're getting busted by a family of 5? Really? You know, it'd be worse than that, being taken down to the station in the minivan. Don't make me come back there. I'll be handcuffed in the back. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? He's hitting me. Are we there yet? You know what I saw today? There are cops on mountain bicycles. That's awesome. Apparently when it gets over 40, we just put on the spandex and party, don't we? How do criminals get away from these guys? I don't know, step on the gas, you know? Oh, I'm in hot pursuit. I'm in hot pursuit. Ring, 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 ring. We'll be watching Fox. Cops in Minneapolis. Bad boys, bad boys. The cameraman's on the handlebar. Tell us about your job, dude. So here's my getting pulled over story, which I hope you can use, because I learned it the hard way. If you're driving in the winter and it's freezing cold, or spring, apparently, if you're driving when it's freezing cold outside and you get pulled over, just remember this. There is no law that says how long it has to take to find your license. You know, I don't know. I'm going to turn on the heat. That looks cold out there, man. Oh, burr, yes, sir. I'll hurry. Okie dokie. I'm glad you like it. That joke cost me $179. You packed it on a weeknight. I can't thank you enough. I'm glad you came. Have a great night. Good night, everybody, and thank you for coming.
Hello.
I just got shot.
You've reached the 911 emergency line.
Hello.
Your call is very important to us. Our 911 operators are busy assisting other victims. But if you stay on the line, one will be with you shortly. Calls are answered in the order received.
Hello.
Yeah.
We're sorry for the inconvenience, but with
What?
Oktoberfest this weekend, we are experiencing an unusually high number of calls. We at 911 want to assure quality service to all of our customers, and you will experience that level of excellence very soon.
Hello.
Yeah, you
You are
gotta
holding
help
on
me.
the
I don't
911
know.
emergency line. Please do not hang up, for this will further delay your receiving assistance. Also, to help us help you, please have the following information available: your location, type of injury, severity of said injury, and healthcare number, along with 2 pieces of ID. We appreciate your help.
911 operator,
Oh, thank God. I need
that's
your
what
help.
you'll hear when
What?
your call is answered. We appreciate your business. Please, continue to hold.
Oh, I think I can see my spleen.
We at 911 would like to take this opportunity to offer you, our valued customer, an amazing offer. The official 911 t-shirts are on sale now. Available in both children and adult sizes, these beautiful cotton shirts have the number 911 printed on front and back. So regardless of your individual emergency needs, people around you can still call for help, even if they can't remember our number. Both practical and stylish, it's the shirt that may save your life. Please, have your credit card ready, and thank you for holding.
Oh.
911, hello. 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 911, hello. Hello.
Wow, that was strange. That was a special promo for the 911 emergency call that Kermit put together as a joke. It's funny. It's certainly topical, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. But ladies and gentlemen, what a fine show of stand-up comedy. Jack Mayberry, Chris Hobbs, Bentoni, and the comedy of Kermet Apio. Hey, that's been our show this week. Thanks so much for joining us. If you get a chance, share this with family and friends. We're still trying to get the word out, and you can rate us on Spotify or Apple. Thanks for listening to Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. We'll see you next Sunday for another great show. Bye!
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Stand-Up Comedy, your host and MC. For information on the show, merchandise, and our sponsors, or to send comments to Scott, visit our website at www.standupyourhostandmc.com. Look for more episodes soon and enjoy the world of stand-up comedy. Visit a comedy showroom near you.